everyone, welcome back to more spooky series reviews. Today we are going to be reviewing the manga series Interviews with Monster Girls. This is another older one that I didn't really get into reading till recently. I first heard about it when the anime came out and I saw all the clips, all the memes, but I never actually got into watching it myself. So more so recently, I saw this on Mangamo and I thought, oh, maybe I'll finally get into reading it for the Halloween season. So if you also don't know what it's about, I'll give you a brief rundown. This is a slice of life with a little bit of supernatural themes stuck in there. Of course, the main characters are in fact monster girls, so you should be expecting a little bit of supernatural stuff. In this universe, there are species that are simply known as demi-humans, which are the monsters. And while it's well known that they exist in the world, they're very rare. And our main character is a biology teacher who always wanted to meet and interview these demi-humans to kind of figure out how this stuff works. You know, oh, you're a vampire, do you have to drink blood? Are all these other stereotypes true? And so on and so forth. Now, by pure chance, the school that he works at ends up having quite a few demi-humans transfer there, including a vampire girl, a snow woman, a Dullahan, and a teacher who is a succubus. And then this girl is just the sister of one of them. She's not important at all. Now, through him doing these interviews and befriending these girls, they all kind of fall in love with him, so it ends up being a harem. Oh gee, I wonder which he's going to end up with. The underage girls or the one girl who is of age and he won't go to prison for dating. Oh, and she's also a succubus. Or should I say, a fuckubus. I gotta say, out of all the girls, I do actually find the math teacher to be the most interesting one, because her life as a succubus is kind of not so great. She doesn't have full control of her ability to arouse others, so she can't like live in an apartment complex. They don't want her there, turning people on all the time. Whenever she falls asleep, other people around her who are also asleep will have wet dreams, and she can't touch someone, otherwise they're going to get turned on. So she has to keep her distance from a lot of people, and her love life is also complicated because even if a guy is interested in her, she's not sure if that's just because she's a succubus or because of her as the person. So I do genuinely find this character to be interesting, and I think all the scenes with her are probably some of the best scenes in this series. But all in all, this manga is pretty chill. Whenever they're not focusing on the romance side of the plot, they're usually just exploring the ways that these monster girls would get through normal life. Like, oh, well, the government knows that vampires exist, so they offer blood bags for her to consume. Succubus teacher has to live alone. The poor headless horse girl has gotta always carry her head around, which seems like that would be quite an exercise. And you know, while he's interviewing these girls and asking these questions and learning more about them and how they fit into modern day lifestyles, that is interesting to some extent, but I do kind of get tired of it after a while, and I just want them to move on to other plot. Like, can something else happen? So like I mentioned before, I did not actually watch the anime. I went straight into this series through the manga, as most people say manga is better. And I'm willing to bet that the anime was more engaging than the manga series, because I did have a problem zoning in and out for some pages, and it was a little bit more effort to get through the heavy dialogue parts of this series. I will say I'm not fully updated on the manga, but it wouldn't be very hard for me to get to the end, as it's a relatively short series with only 8 volumes. I got about halfway through. The art in the manga is a little bit different. I might say that it's a little bit below average of what I see for manga. Not that it's bad, just that, you know, proportions proportions tend to be a little wonky in some sections, and I do think that it improves as you get further into the series. The main characters kind of got like eyes that remind me of Saitama, only much more square, just that simple style of eyes. But it is kind of charming, and it does help him look a little unique. Now, besides the romance and the explaining how monster girls live in modern day, there are some sections that touch on the topics of bullying. And to be honest, I kind of found those sections to be the weakest part of the series. Not that I'm denying that if demis existed in our world, they would get bullied. Of course they would, right? I mean, I guess if the human students had a death wish. I'd imagine it would be more common for people to be scared of the demis, right? I mean, like, if a vampire was going to your school, would you want to sit next to them? But yeah, the bullying sections were a little bit bland, honestly. Like, they don't really feel like real characters, they just feel like placeholders, like insert bully here. So I'm not sure if I would recommend it for a Halloween seasonal anime to watch or manga to read, because for the most part it's just kind of chill. It's just kind of chill reading. Nothing too spooky or exciting happening. I mean, I do like the succubus character, and I do like the idea of a romance with the succubus, but I also kind of wonder if I could just read another manga where that's the focal point of the series rather than, you know, these other high school girls. Because I am 100% sure that there are other mangas that have tried to do a romance with a succubus before. Let's see what we can find by searching succubus. Oh my god, this was a mistake. Oh dude! Saki the succubus? Literally the same name, also a succubus, only this one focuses on the succubus. You see what I mean? Once you have that concept out there, someone's gonna be like, that concept's good. We should just do a manga with just that. Alright, next time we review Saki the Succubus. Well, according to this article, there's gonna be a season 2 of Interviews with Monster Girls for those of you who are looking for more content. But honestly, if you did want to just like catch up with the series, like I said, it's a relatively short series. There's only like 8 volumes. You could probably catch up pretty fast. And I did just kind of spoil who he ends up with in the end. But I mean, it's kind of obvious that he would only end up with the adult. Anyways, it's a pretty chill series. I can see why people like it. A lot of people are rating this a 7 out of 10, and yeah, sure, that probably works. I might rate it a 6.5 myself, but mostly just because, like I said, I was zoning in and out of it while I was reading the manga series, because there's just these huge sections of dialogue, and I wasn't super interested in what they were saying. But I do like the succubus character, and I do kind of like the idea of there being like all these monster girls, and you know, he makes them feel good about themselves. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on Interviews with Monster Girls? Have you personally read the manga series or watched the anime? Or have you done both? Which did you like better? And are there any series that you think would be good for me to review for the October spooky season? Let me know in the comments section below. If you did enjoy my short review, remember to leave a like. If you're looking for some spooky Halloween-esque reading material for the spooky season, may I suggest my comic, Sonic City Witch. It's still up there. It's still on the website. Go read it. Links in the description below, and like I mentioned before, there will be no Friday live stream this week, although I'm hoping to get into doing more Friday live streams again. But it's going to be a fairly busy week, so there's just not going to be much time for Friday live streams. So stick around and hopefully I'll have more videos out soon. Till then, guys, bye!
Program restart. Shutting down all systems.